Hey guys, so in this video I want to go through and rank all the songs off of Trilogy by The Weeknd, and I'm really passionate about this album. It's probably my favorite album of all time. There are 30 songs on Trilogy, comprised of 3 mixtapes with 10 songs on each, and that's House of Balloons, Thursday, and Echoes of Silence. Every mixtape has good and great songs. I don't think I've ever heard a bad song by The Weeknd. I want to get into the ranking, but I want to talk first because this is my first video. Skip here if you just want to go to the ranking. Yeah, now that everybody else is gone. Yeah, so this is my first video on YouTube, and this is the kind of content I really want to make, at least for this channel. Is, music-based content, even reactions if I choose to. If there's stuff I really want to review, I can review albums. I can put out lists like this where I rank stuff. I enjoy doing that. I can do tier lists. For this one I'm not going to do that. I'm really confident that I can do this. I've already been working on a lot of different scripts for YouTube, these videos, so you probably can tell that the audio is not great. I bought a ring light and I have a PC, and that's pretty much all I'm using right now to record these videos. So I want to get like a mic I can put on my shirt and stuff like that. So once again, just a little disclaimer, I want to say that I don't think any songs on Trilogy are bad. I think they're all very good to excellent. And again, Trilogy is like my favorite album of all time, so let's get into the ranking. Just grab a room, I sweat no one will. It's probably going to feel a little weird because I'm not going to be saying the songs on the bottom of the list are bad at all, but the worst song we have on Trilogy, in my opinion, is The Party and the After Party. Again, I think this song is amazing. So even though I think the production on Gone is very good, and sometimes I do like a long song, it's a little too long most of the time. I'm not going to listen to it all the time, but I do like the song. I think the fact that apparently this song was like kind of like a freestyle from The Weeknd is really cool. What you feeling? Alright, I know I'm going to catch some backlash for this, but this just isn't my favorite song on the album. I know this is like a lot of people, and like especially that originally listened to like the original mixtapes. This is a lot of people's like one of their top 2 or 3 from the album, or the original House of Balloons mixtape. And I think the song is very good. I feel like this is like the perfect introduction song if you're a really big fan of his newer music. Like, it's a really good introduction into his older music because it is a little more poppy, and I really love the production on this, especially the really deep reverb, or if that's a synthesizer, I'm not really sure, but during like the chorus of the song, I think that's really good. So I really love how nocturnal Thursday feels, and I think it's this kind of like woozy, drug-filled kind of sound to it, but again, I think mostly it's a pretty empty song and just very repetitive. But nevertheless, I mean, I still enjoy it anytime I hear it, and it's a very good song for, night drives, or just a song to listen to at night. So. Alright, so I know again I'm gonna catch backlash. I'll probably catch backlash for just like putting any of these songs at the bottom, but I think the song is very good. Again, a little long, and I don't have a problem with long songs. I just think this song is very long. I do like how it switches up in the middle, though. I'm having a hard time picking whether I like House of Balloons or Glass Table Girls more. I think it just kind of depends what mood I'm in. I think Glass Table Girls has a very unique, almost rap track, at least for the Weeknd. House of Balloons is just a really solid sounding singing song. So I love how anthemic the first half of the track sounds, and that relates to the next song I'm gonna be putting up here. But I think the next song edges it out by just a little bit. So, I mean, I absolutely love the drums, and the song sounds like it's supposed to be played at a stadium, which is really cool. But he did put a part of the song in his Super Bowl performance, and I think that was a really cool callback and kind of shout out to the fans that listen to his older music. And I definitely feel like The Birds is a really solid track from this album, right along with every other one. But so I like really love this track. It used to be like in my top 3 for this album, but now that I've looked back on it and kind of ranked it, I really don't think it's like the best, even on the mixtape that it's on, which is why it's relatively lower. But on this list, but I do think that this song is amazing still. This song, just looking at my list here, seems like it is criminally low. I don't really know, because I love this song, especially like the explosive kind of part at the end, where Abel hits this really beautiful note. So now, again, probably gonna catch backlash for this, but yeah, we have Dee or Dirty Diana down here, and when I first listened to this album back in like 2018. Yeah, I know I wasn't like an early... I didn't listen to the original mixtape. When I first listened to this track back in 2018, it was my favorite song on the album. But now I think it's a very solid song that changes up the original Dirty Diana in a very unique way. And I think this song is just great. I really love the heavy-hitting bass or the crunching noises that are at the end of the song and throughout the song too, but mainly at the end of the song. Seems like no regret. Oh, your best friend. For this spot, we have Lonely Star. The guitar and the singing in this song is all just so good, and it combines to a really awesome opening to the Thursday mixtape. And the good thing about the Thursday mixtape is there's still a lot of songs to go that I think are absolutely phenomenal. And the top song on this ranking list is on Thursday, which is weird because usually I would rank the albums as Echoes of Silence being my favorite, then House of Balloons, then Thursday as third. Even though they're all excellent, but I just feel like Echoes of Silence and House of Balloons just has amazing songs, and Thursday has amazing songs, but not quite as many, and they don't quite hit me as hard. Where were you when I needed you? 8 months. So Same Old Song is like really unique for the Weeknd sound. It has more of this like dance, not necessarily dubstep sound to it, but like this more electronic sound, and I think that works really well. I feel like the feature of Juicy J doesn't really need to be included. I feel like it's just kind of included so maybe more people will listen to the song, because he's really just talks for like 10 seconds at the end of the song. But I definitely don't think Juicy J needed a verse on the song because he wouldn't fit at all. I think this song specifically shows just how talented The Weeknd is in the fact that he can do a lot of sounds and sound great over any of them, and I think that's been proven in a lot of his features. So I don't want you guys to get this messed up. This song is absolutely amazing. Definitely was one of my favorite songs off of it when I first listened to it, and it still remains in heavier rotation than even a lot of the songs above it do. I just think overall the other songs are better, in my opinion. I love the French he uses in the track, and at some parts of the track, and I love the backing vocals he does, and I think his song just sounds gorgeous and like an angel on this, so that's why I'm placing it here. So I think Till Dawn, Here Comes the Sun is such a cool track, because at the time when Trilogy was originally released in 2012, it really was like a look into the future for his Kissland album. If you really listen to this album, the use of lots of guitar and just the production in general, plus how Abel is singing on this song, it really sounds like it could have been on Kissland. And I think that's really cool, like making the last song on your compilation album that came before Kissland, making it sound like it's going in the direction of the music you're gonna make next. And obviously at the time people didn't know that, but I think it's a really cool fact that it does sound like this, and the song sounds good. So first, I just want to say how I love the effect over the Weeknd's voice. I think it's really cool. He almost sounds like a ghost, or like he's kind of far away in like an echoey room, or more like he's singing off a balcony that's overlooking a city in like a skyscraper or something like that. It's kind of weird, but that's what I picture. And I love like the nighttime sound it has to it. I love how he brings this up in one of these songs on After Hours. Later he brings up the lyric Heaven or Las Vegas, and I believe it's in one of his music videos too. Is it in the Heartless one, I think? So Abel like low-key has some bars on this song, even though I know like the end is not for everyone, where he's just kind of like singing and he sounds really far away. I think that sounds amazing and puts me in such a cool space when I'm listening to the song with headphones or some good earbuds, and that's mainly why I really love this song. But I do really like it for his lines too, and for what it does contribute to the story of this album. So if you're looking for a nighttime song, this is the one. I mean, it sounds so dreamy and nocturnal, and I think that's what's really cool about this song. It has a, even though other songs are nocturnal on the album or sound dark, I think this one just has a really different or a cool sound to it, something that makes it sound different from the rest of the dark songs. I also think this is a really cool song to have as the second song that comes after High for This, because, no pun intended, High for This is like a really high point to start out with, and in the album in general, and then you kind of take it this dreamy approach right after that. So I think that's really cool and it works really well. So first I'll talk about EXO. This was really like a highlight for me when I originally listened to this album so many years ago. I think this song, just like in general, was really a highlight. I love how it sounds. I guess I don't like have too much to say about it that I haven't said about the other songs, besides at the end the host has the beat switch, and it has it's like almost like a prelude to Initiation. It like has some of the same lyrics. It's ironic the host sounds like a prelude to Initiation, because I thought I passed my peak and I'm experiencing fall, and all I wanted. Yeah, I know I'm just gonna catch flack for this. I mean, this is the by far the most different sounding song on the whole album, and I mean, It's so cool. Again, this was one of my favorites when I first listened to it, but when I went and re-raked them, this is just where it fell, and I didn't even mean for it to fall directly above EXO the Host, but it did. So that's kind of cool that it did. But yeah, the song is really cool. Almost a rap singing track with where the pitch of his voice keeps going up and down. It's definitely a really awesome song with a cool story. So yeah. But you knew how this would end. So this is definitely the saddest song on the album. I mean, that's the point of the track, that it's supposed to sound sad, but I love how sparse the instrumental is. It's just a piano and reverb, really. There might be a few extra things thrown in there, but not really. I also think it's very interesting that on this version of Echoes of Silence, the Trilogy version, he almost sings in like in a really weird key that's kind of like off key, and that's not really present from what I can tell in the like original mixtape song. But I think even though it's kind of weird at first, it definitely it sounds really cool, and adding to the context of the song sounding like really haunting. But yeah, really solid track, and the song always makes me sad when I listen to it. So yeah, I know probably a few of you are like scratching your head wondering why this is so high on the list, and it's because I really like this song. I'm saying that because I don't think this is like a fan favorite or anything, but I think this song is like amazing. The deeper voice he uses, coupled with the high voices he uses in the song, contrast really well, and it definitely sounds like a night out on the town. And yeah, I just really love this song. It's kind of like almost a turn-up track. I don't know why, but it reminds me a little of King of the Fall, just how the song is like not structured, but how it sounds, even though they don't sound similar. I don't know if that's weird, but that's how I feel. You're trying to win your heart and you can't pay to win my love. So yeah, next, I love the lyrics in this song. You know, most of them. Obviously, some of them are bad and The Weeknd's playing a character, but I really like how like sad but almost uplifting the song sounds. It reminds me a little of Echoes of Silence because it's just like mainly the piano on the production. There's obviously more to the beat than Echoes of Silence had, but it reminds me of that, like kind of like a ballad. But I think this song is just phenomenal. Still tipping, codeine cups, paint a picture so vivid. This definitely used to be one of my favorite songs on the album. I mean, this track is just phenomenal, and it is a like fan favorite, so I understand that. I also think the song kind of has like a cold, almost like it feels like it's like the sun's rising but not quite up over the horizon yet. It feels snowy. I put this on my Christmas playlist for some reason, but it just reminds me of like snow for some reason. But yeah. Girl, you know what's in store. Baby, I'ma stay up. You guys can probably tell I enjoy The Weeknd when he's over minimal production. I think this song is like it sounds like it's outside at night. You know, whenever I picture this song, I picture like a house, and it's nighttime, but there's a light coming down, shining a light. That makes no sense, but that's what it reminds me of for some reason. I think this song is really good, and this used to be one of my favorite songs on the album, but as you can see, it's not anymore. We still have multiple songs to go, so. Alright, so now we have The Birds Part 2. This, again, used to be my favorite song on the album. I don't know, a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, it used to be my favorite. the song is just so sad and so filled with emotion, and I love like the chorus when the voice changes, and I think whether at the start of the song a girl shoots herself or shoots the other girl he's with, I'm not really sure. I think that's heavily debated in the Weeknd's community, but I think either one of those scenarios is really sad, and especially like her asking him to let her fall out of love with him. I think that's just really sad and really like creative writing. But yeah, I really love the Weeknd singing, and like I said, when the vocal is pitched up, I think that's really cool too. I think it all just sounds really great and makes for an amazing track. Now I think is the point in this ranking that I'm reaching, like my definitive favorite songs off the album. I guess it would be my top 6 songs from the album, but like this and Up are like just absolutely phenomenal songs, and I think The Zone is a very good example. It sounds so spacey and moody and bluesy, and I could find a million other words to rhyme with that, but I think it's really just like a journey going through this song, and I know some people don't like how long there is between the Weeknd's part and Drake's part. There's like that really long stretch of music. I think that's beautiful. I think that's really well done, just how atmospheric it makes everything feel, and depressing, but I guess that's the whole point of the Thursday mixtape, is everything is like depressing but kind of packaged as a upbeat type thing, and that's how the girl that he only sees on Thursday feels. Also want to mention Drake did pretty good on his part. It's not like the best thing I've ever heard, but it does at least fit the song, and he has some
money, baby. I wanna show you how I throw money, baby. I'm a kid, so it's hard.
I just realized I have 3 the blank songs in a row: The Birds, The Zone, The Fall. The Fall is easily my favorite out of those 3. I love his singing and the lines on this song. I also love the clapping part where it's building up and the energy's kind of getting ramped up. I think that's phenomenal. This is my like 5th top 5 song. It's my 5th song on the list, and it deserves that spot. So back when I was like really young and first discovered The Weeknd, kind of when most people did, like in 2014, 2015, I really liked his songs, and so the ones I heard on the radio, and so I looked up The Weeknd songs, and 28 was like the first one that popped up for some reason, or one of the first ones, the first one I didn't recognize. So this is actually the first song I heard off this album. Now, it was the music video, and I probably shouldn't have watched that at such a young age, but I did. But yeah, this song is just so sad but gorgeous, and the music video is the same. And I really just think like this song is just so nostalgic for me, because it's one of the first Weeknd songs I ever heard, period, but definitely the first off of Trilogy. So that's why it deserves the number 4 spot.
I left my girl back home.
So at number 3 we have Wicked Games, and I think for most people Wicked Games is in their top 3 from this album. It may even be your favorite from House of Balloons. It's not my favorite from House of Balloons. There's one song that edges it out just a little bit, because I love that other song just so much. But on the topic of Wicked Games, this is by far, I think, the best like pop radio hit he's ever had, even though I didn't ever hear this on the radio. But I think this is definitely like his best one that could have been on the radio. Yeah, again, this is another music video I shouldn't have watched when I was so young. This was probably the second song I heard off of this album. I think The Weeknd's music and visuals for the music and just him aren't for little kids, obviously, but I liked his music, and I'm glad I did start liking his music. It took me a pretty long time to actually like really sit down and listen to albums. I mean, I wasn't really doing that until, you know, like 2016. I really started like listening to albums and stuff and getting more into music, and it's just spawned this passion for me. So I can thank The Weeknd for kind of helping spawn this passion for me, because he's kind of the one with these early songs I did listen to. He's kind of the one that pushed me to love music just so much. This is an amazing track, and if you haven't somehow heard this song, go listen to it.
I guess that I could only say one thing. Girl, I've been bad.
So now the highest ranking song at number 2 from House of Balloons is Coming Down. This song is just phenomenal. Everything from the vocals Abel provides to the dark production, and him actually making it sound like, you know, in the production that he's coming down of a drug trip. So dark, and I really wish that the original sample of, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Japanese. It's from a song, and there's like a sample of that in Coming Down. It's like in the middle or at the end of the original mixtape portion, and I wish they kept that in because it sounds so good. But to keep the track uninterrupted, I think it was better to take it out of the final version. I don't know if they couldn't get the rights to it or whatever. They could have stuck it at the end though, and then if I didn't want to listen to it, I'd just skip it. But yeah, that's really the only complaint I have with this song. It's just phenomenal.
Without a home, so this recognition's not enough.
And now at our number 1 spot, Rolling Stone. This is probably one of my favorite songs ever. It's definitely probably my favorite Weeknd song ever, at least solo song. It's just so beautiful, or the minimal production, and just like the guitar and him singing, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And the fact that the song and the music video can be interpreted as it fits into the story very well, but it also, and he said, it acts as a message to the fans, and I think it's great. The song is just, it's one of my favorite songs of all time, probably in my top 5, if not top 3. I listen to the song a lot, but I don't try to over listen to it, so I get bored of it. But anytime I listen to the Trilogy, this is the song I'm looking forward to the most. I think these top 5 tracks were really hard to choose, you know, the order they go in. I love The Fall, 28, Wicked Games, Coming Down, and Rolling Stone so much. All of them are just almost perfect in their own right. I think the main thing that makes me pick Rolling Stone over those other songs is because it's just The Weeknd and a guitar and some reverb and background echoes and stuff like that. I think that's why it's just so amazing. Trilogy as an album, as I said, is an absolutely phenomenal idea. It's probably not the first album to ever put like 3 mixtapes together. It's probably the first compilation album to put 3 mixtapes together and call it Trilogy, but I think that's phenomenal. You know, you have these short 10-track mixtapes that kind of have their own story, and each time you got a new one, or you move on to a new disc or the new mixtape, every 10 tracks, that next track you can expect some time to jump ahead and for the story to continue. And I think that's just phenomenal, and I think the story is, even if it's terrible, it's beautifully written. And I don't even see many rappers writing a story this good, like, especially not over 30 songs. I feel like albums with stories are my favorite, and I feel like we have like a severe lack of those. That's why I think Rolling Stones is the best song on Trilogy, and I think everything I said about the songs on here should prove why Trilogy is his best album, at least in my opinion. If you guys have any, like I said, I want to do music reactions, and I haven't listened to everything, so if you guys want me to listen to anything, if this video gets any traction, I don't know if it will. I know The Weeknd has a big fan base on YouTube, and I'm passionate about his music, so I want to be a part of that. But yeah, if you guys have reactions you want me to do on other music, I like most types of music. I just don't recommend me anything like country or like really poppy stuff. It's just not for me. If you like it, that's awesome. I'm glad you do. If you have anything you want me to react to, or any list ideas you want to give me, I already have a bunch planned. I want to rank every Weeknd album. I also have, like I said, I want to rank his entire discography when I'm done with it. I also have a list that's mostly done of me ranking all the features from The Weeknd. So I think that's been a really fun thing to make a list on. It's going to be fun to make the video on.
I also have to mention, since I failed to make this clear, I will do these lists and things like that on any artist. I'm not just a Weeknd stan through and through, lol. You like the text-to-speech? LMAO.
Yeah, if you have content ideas or want me to react to something, or I do really have a passion for games and movies too, so I'd love to do stuff with that too. I don't know if I'm going to do that on this channel. I'd probably make other channels for those, but also I'm not sure if my name's going to stay that. I have no idea. If you watched all the way through, you're amazing, because you've never seen me before and watched an entire video of some random 18-year-old kid ranking the Weeknd songs. Whether you watched this because you were just you just love the Weeknd so much and want to hear so many different opinions on it, that's great. Whether you watched it because you were entertained with me, I'm flattered, and that's awesome, and I will be keeping doing this. YouTube and content creation is really a passion of mine, and I have a lot of stuff I want to make content on, and I don't want to just limit myself to music. So yeah, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, especially if you watched all the way to the end. You're awesome, and I'll see you soon.